Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I am your guest host today, Brittany Page, and I host the Page Perspective on YouTube. As I prepare to wrap up my time with you today, I would ask that you please subscribe to my channel if you have enjoyed my run as guest host, and if you're interested in supporting smaller independent media channels. I would love to see you over there. While Congress is out of session this week, we're still seeing some electeds make the rounds and give interviews given the upcoming battle in the Senate over the tax and spending bill. One of those is Republican Senator Dave McCormick, who stopped by CNBC to lie about Republican efforts to gut Medicaid with some of the classics you've heard before. Let's hear the lies and then talk about them on the other side.
We want to ensure that the vulnerable people for whom this program was designed are protected and those benefits are protected. But for able-bodied working men without dependents or for illegal immigrants, we want to eliminate that expense. That's not what the program was designed for. And there's areas across our government where that's the case, but that's the most promising one. The GAO, you know this, Andrew, the Government Accountability Office, nonpartisan, estimates $500 billion of waste, fraud, and abuse. There's probably more we can do there.
So we've already covered that the efforts to put work requirements on Medicaid are simply an effort to slash the program. And we've already talked about this graph, which we will show again, showing that the $800 billion in cuts to Medicaid and the $300 billion in cuts to SNAP are there to pay for the $1.1 trillion in tax cuts for those making more than $500,000 a year. Okay, so we've covered that, but we haven't covered the fact that it is a lie that undocumented immigrants get Medicaid. It's false. It's a lie. It's not true. Undocumented immigrants are not eligible for Medicaid or CHIP. In fact, while undocumented people pay millions in taxes into our system of government, they cannot benefit from it in the form of Medicaid or CHIP. In fact, reading from the Tax Policy Center, quote, an estimated 11 million immigrants live in the U.S. without authorization. Contrary to some claims, they pay a considerable amount in taxes. Some estimates suggest undocumented immigrants paid nearly $100 billion in federal, state, and local taxes in 2022. And you know, at this point, I'm just going to do a deep dive on work requirements for my channel because I'm so sick of hearing about them as a solution. I'm so sick of how Republicans try to sound reasonable when selling them to the public. They do not increase participation in the labor force, and they only serve to restrict access to those programs. And there is really no better example of this than what happened in Georgia with Pathways to Coverage. They implemented this new program where you had to have work requirements to get Medicaid, and after just 1 year, less than 2% of people who were eligible for the program had enrolled. This, even after paying Deloitte millions of dollars to help get people enrolled and to create the platform to gatekeep coverage. I want to read from ProPublica's reporting on this. Quote, Deloitte has made at least $51 million as of December 31st to manage Pathways, including creating and maintaining its problematic software platform, as The Current and ProPublica previously reported. It is also earning at least $3 million more to oversee the state's relationship with federal regulators. When Deloitte's publicity campaign ended in February, enrollment in Pathways remained less than 3% of the approximately 250,000 Georgians who were potentially eligible. They've paid $51 million to an organization that was supposed to roll out and manage the program for work requirements for Medicaid instead of just paying to finance people's healthcare. I mean, what are we doing here? Work requirements are based on a stereotype of people who need public assistance, that they're lazy, that they do not want to work, but we must reject this as progressives and follow the evidence. And the evidence tells us that Senator Dave McCormick and his fellow Republicans are very wrong.
After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what the echo machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get the Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out the Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.